Andrew, do you know who Chase Young is?
Yeah, of course.
No. My point is, I don't either.
Before I said that Cade Cunningham would never be an All-Star, and I just wanted to double down on that.
Oh,
I just.
We're back
What's going
with
on with
another.
Mike's video?
I know.
The NBA Finals, some WNBA, some NHL, and some NFL. All that next. Let's go.
Welcome back.
What's going on, Jam Packed? I'm MK. I am your host, and I am here live with John and Tesla Mays. What's going on, fellas?
What's
What's
going
up,
on?
guys?
Long time no see, man. Long time no see. I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. We got some a lot of stuff to go through today, so hopefully we can hit it all. Let's see here. I'm gonna change our screen here for a bit. Boom. The end of the NBA Finals have been set. Boston Celtics versus the Dallas Mavericks. How you guys feeling about this finals matchup?
Go ahead, John.
I think it's going to be a good matchup. I don't necessarily care for the Mavs, but on the other side, I don't really care for the Celtics either. So, if we're talking just straight two teams against each other, I still think it'll be good. I would assume that Celtics take it in 6. But yeah.
Lou on Instagram said, "Let's go Heat."
I would definitely cheer for the Heat if they were in it. So.
Mike, how you feeling about this matchup?
So first off, I just want to make sure we roll back the tape from 2 weeks ago when I
Get
predicted
outta
this matchup.
here.
So,
Good job, Mike.
I appreciate that. I need Andrew to say the same words. He happened to duck out at this very moment, but
Convenient.
no, I mean, this is a matchup that I think I wanted to see. As fun as the Timberwolves are, their story isn't quite written for this yet. Celtics, man, they're supposed to be here, right? They've been here the last few years. They're trying to just finish the job, get it done, and I think they got a little bit more weight on their shoulders, whereas Dallas is no one really expected them to be at this point. Honestly, they should have lost first round of the Clippers. It should be the Clippers in this position, but
I agree.
hey, at least we lost. At least we lost to the potential, NBA champion. So I like it. I'm looking forward to it. I like everything about it. I think Porzingis is coming back, so it should be two teams that are healthy. I'm excited for this matchup. It's the right matchup, and again, once Denver was out, I feel like Dallas was the next best team in the Western Conference. So
Definitely two different roads, right? For each team. Celtics up there at the top, kind of that clear path. No real contenders, whereas Dallas had to fight and claw to get it done, even though I don't think Timberwolves put up that much of a fight.
Okay.
I think the bigger storyline, though, or at least the one that interests me the most, is Kyrie returning to Boston. I don't think he's very popular out there with his last run in Boston. That I think that'll bode well for Boston when they have home court. The last time the Mavs, though, made the finals, their coach Jason Kidd was their starting point guard. Little fun fact for you. We have Luka is the. Let me move that down. He's the fourth player to hit 450 points, 150 rebounds, and 150 assists in a single postseason.
Wow.
The only other three to do that was Jokic, LeBron, and Larry Bird. Luka's kind of been dominating this postseason. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah, Luca's been on a roll. He's been very good. He is made for postseason basketball.
Oh,
I
definitely.
don't know. Maybe it's me, but I guess just his style of play. When the game slows down a little bit and it becomes a little bit more, I don't want to say less athletic, but more thought out. I think
Mm-hmm.
he thrives in those situations. Get Dallas in a close game towards the end of a game, and Luca really ultimately has the biggest advantage, I think, on the court. But I mean, I that doesn't surprise me. But yeah, he's done very well these playoffs. Not to take anything from him.
For those who can't see the screen, the image on the screen says that Luka has led the postseason in points, rebounds, assists, steals, and 3-pointers. He leads in all 5 categories throughout this playoffs. Just kind of a monster playoffs. I wish. Sounds like my Thursday night. Just kidding. Better than that, huh? In his first 370 games in the NBA, up top you have LeBron James, who scored over 10,000 points, over 2,500 rebounds, just under 2,500 assists on 48 or 46% field goal percentage, 32% 3-point percentage, and 72, almost 73% free throws. In that same time frame in 370 games, Luka has put up more points than LeBron, more rebounds than LeBron, more assists than LeBron, on a higher field goal percentage, a higher 3-point percentage, and a higher free throw percentage. That's impressive.
Yeah, it's impressive, but let's not forget LeBron was 18 years old at the time, right? I mean,
True.
this guy's been a professional for a very, very long time. Again, not to take anything away from him, but he played at some of the highest levels. He was playing, Olympic basketball versus some of these very guys before LeBron was, when he was in high school. So,
Yeah.
respect to him. I'm not trying to take anything away from him. I'm just saying, like, we're comparing apples and oranges if you're looking at that, in my opinion.
Definitely. Bro, what's going on? Welcome back. Welcome back. The Celtics and Mavericks have faced twice over the regular season. Celtics won the first matchup in January, 119-110. It was kind of a closer matchup than they did in March, and I'll flip that screen here now, whereas Celtics won 138-110. If you look at the stats, though, I know that the statistics aren't as clear because they're not big on your screen. In that blowout win, Luka still scored 37 in the close, and I believe Kyrie scored 19 in the other game. Let's see, Luka scored 33 and Kyrie scored 23. What does Dallas have to do to keep up with Boston? Heavy Heat Collect says Mavericks are taking this. And then he said, let's go Finns.
Sounds about right. So I would say it's going to be interesting because, I mean, obviously Minnesota didn't have the offensive power to contend with the Mavericks. So they needed to play more offensive, and they tried to play more defensive, which is just who they are. So you can't fault them for that. So, but this is really going to be interesting because Celtics don't play defense. They just try to outscore guys, and quite frankly, they're just better at doing it than everyone else. So it's really going to be an interesting finals because Luka could get 37, Kyrie could get 30. They could put up 70 combined and still lose by 15, 20 points, right? I mean, just because of who Boston is and how they can put up points from all different positions. Again, if Porzingis is playing, how does Dallas defend Boston? I mean,
Yeah.
Is Gafford out on the outside guarding Porzingis? I mean, or
Good
Horford?
question.
I mean, you have matchup problem. Who's Luka guarding? Is he guarding?
Tatum or Brown?
Tatum or Brown? I mean,
gonna
he
have
has
to.
to, right? Like,
Yeah.
I was talking to a buddy yesterday, and I think Minnesota's issue was they tried to defend Luka and put their best defender and Ant-Man on him, as opposed to let someone else defend him and let Ant-Man go do his thing on offense and just outscore, right?
Yeah.
Whereas Boston can literally outscore him. I mean, that's just who Boston is. They're gonna outscore him. But it should be good. It should be a really, really good series. I'm gonna go. I think I know we're not picking yet, so I'll hold off on that.
Oh,
so.
we can go ahead and pick. Let's go ahead and pick. So, Donald, since he's not on here right now, shame on you. He says Mavs win and they go 7 games. What are you picking, John?
I said Celtics in 6.
Celtics in 6. Okay, Mike.
I'm gonna go Celtics in 7.
Celtics in 7.
Game 7. Everything we want to see in Boston. I'm gonna go Celtics in 7.
Ooh. If Mavs win, I think it'd take them 7. But if Boston wins, I only think that'll take them 6. Maybe even 5 if Dallas can't figure out their defensive matchup.
So you're picking a road team in game 6 or 7 to win it, it sounds like.
Pretty much.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's been the kind of theme of the playoffs, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting.
Yeah. I'm just looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to game 1.
Just a fun fact. MJ gave Steve Kerr 3 rings. And just for the GOAT conversation, LeBron also gave Steve Kerr 3 rings. I'll let you guys handle that as you would like. On a side note, Brooklyn Nets guard Dennis Schroeder made his professional soccer debut for a German league.
There you go.
For a German team. That was pretty cool to see. And it looks like he's got some pretty good skill, man. He looks like he's got some good skill.
Yeah, I think I read it's like the Bundesliga 3 or something at 3rd level. So I mean, that's pretty impressive.
Not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. In WNBA news, Caitlin Clark and the Fever got their first home win a couple days ago. In that game, Clark scored 30. No,
right?
she had 11 points, right?
Oh, 11 in that one, yeah.
She had 11 in that one with 6 assists. So even without the scoring, she was still helping out. Still had 8 boards. She's doing good though. A lot of Caitlin Clark on the news lately. Oh, and I have this clip for you. Let me post this real quick. I want this one. This is one of my favorite movie scenes from Dumb and Dumber. You might recognize it. Yes. Little do you know, though, that this is actual live footage of the WNBA anytime Caitlin Clark steps on the court. Absolutely ridiculous. Like everybody's out together.
I'm not happy about this. I've got some very strong feelings on this. I mean, the WNBA was a dying product before Caitlin Clark stepped into it, and I get there's jealousy. I get there's people trying to prove she's not all that, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with rookie needing to learn the next big thing getting pushed around, right? But within the game, right? You
Yeah.
don't,
Definitely.
it's Carter girl doesn't, she doesn't have the ball in bounce. She just goes up and checks her. I mean, that's just messed up. Like, what are we doing here? Like, you're flying. Like, put her. Let the rest of the team fly charter because of Caitlin Clark, and let her keep going. Public with all the rest of the people in the plane. I mean, she's done a lot to help the WNBA, and yeah, I understand. You know, she doesn't necessarily deserve all the recognition she's getting from a professional standpoint. These other girls have put in the work and they put in the time, but you know what? It's better because of it. And at the end of the day, they're just it's just wrong with the way they're treating her. Like again, I'm all good. You go up for a layup, you want to give a hard foul, by all means, I get it. That's just what old school basketball is about. I'm okay with that. But what's going on is not that. It's literally just jealousy showing out there, and it's embarrassing. It's really really embarrassing.
How do you feel about him, John?
Did either of you hear Draymond Green's comments on this? Draymond put it the way I think I would see it. Now, I'm not here to condone violence, I promise you that. But Draymond also said, if any of my teammates are getting knocked around like that, he's the first one to step up and challenge the situation. I'll leave it at that. And I'll be honest, I'd be the same way in a heartbeat. We're not playing like that. Like, if again, like how Mike said, if it's during a play, maybe it was a hard foul or a situation that might be bang bang and so someone gets hurt or whatever, or it's a hard knockdown or whatever. Okay, it's during the play, right? But if it's deliberate and it continues to keep happening, for me personally, I'm backing up my team, and I might just leave it at that. So I don't care for it either. I think Mike took most of the words out of my mouth in terms of it was a dying league before, and she's brought it back to life. And yeah, there might be jealousy on the court, but you got to appreciate what Caitlin's brought to the table in such a short time. So
Right.
And I mean,
Bro
but
said,
to John's point, her teammates aren't backing her up.
Correct.
I mean, that's like
And
this
Draymond
girl's
called
fighting.
them out. Draymond called them out. Like,
Yeah,
who is
as he
there
should.
supporting this young lady who's got the world on her back? Who's supporting her?
right.
And
Yeah.
it's nobody.
Yeah, it's just
Bro
wrong,
said,
man. I mean, it's wrong. Like
women's
if I'm
slam
her,
ball
I'd
is
be like,
coming
screw
soon.
you guys. I'm going to 3-on-3.
Oh, well, speaking of 3-on-3,
They get
Brianna
paid.
Stewart is starting a women's 3-on-3 league,
Oh, that's cool.
which will be nice.
Yeah, that's cool.
But you're absolutely right. You want to protect your stars. Like, your stars are the reason why the seats are getting filled, regardless of who they are. Whether they're on your, like, everybody hated Kobe, right? But Kobe filled seats.
Yep.
Like, people came just to watch him play. Same thing with Jordan. Same thing. I mean, every star, in essentially, which is one of the reasons why most fans have a issue with players resting random games, right? A la Kawhi.
Kawhi.
Yeah, exactly. But for those that don't know, so there's been a bunch of hard fouls, just non-basketball type fouls, made against Caitlin Clark. One of them by this person who is it Kennedy Carter? Or I'm going to say Kennedy. Okay. Who in a press conference said, well, beside the 3-point shooting, what does she bring to the table? Okay, well, that's fine, but people are now starting to answer. Somebody said Kennedy Clark on Caitlin, like, who, besides the
This is
3-point
good.
shooting, what does she bring to the table?
Yeah.
The answer is more than Kennedy Carter does for her own team, who's scoring 12 points a game, 2 rebounds, and 2.6 assists, where Caitlin's scoring 16.9, 5.4 rebounds, and 6.5 assists. Somebody else chimed in and said, Caitlin Clark is the only reason I have ever heard the name Kennedy Carter.
Fair.
Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. And then, I mean, I was on that boat because I had no idea who she was. I had to look it up. She's 25 years old. She nicknamed herself Hollywood. She declared for the WNBA draft in 2020. You can declare as long as you're 22. In that 2020 draft, she was the first round fourth pick by Atlanta. She also got terminated from Atlanta for threatening to beat up her own teammates, in quote, conduct detrimental to the team. And then in 2022, the LA Sparks picked her up and waived her midseason for, quote, poor conduct. And then in 2023, she played abroad in Turkey. And then in 2024, she signed on with the Sky. And then, well, here it says she assaults Caitlin Clark in the seventh game. So,
two different words.
Right.
Yeah. Can I talk about that play real quick though? I mean, Caitlin Clark, it was not as bad as it looked.
No,
either,
definitely
right?
not.
Fair.
I mean,
Definitely not.
Caitlin Clark did embellish that quite a bit, right? So again, I'm talking about the way the whole is treating her. I'm not talking about this specific instance because yeah, it is blowing up hard to feel bad for that girl, Kennedy, Carter. But I mean, she should have done it. What annoys me more is the fact that Angel Reese is on the sideline clapping her hands and cheering it on. And again, the fact that John said her teammate who's taking the ball out doesn't pick her up off the ground. Like when John falls on Thursday night basketball or Tuesday night basketball, I pick him up off the ground. I don't care if he's on my team or the other team, right? Like that's just the way it is, right? And I understand, like there's a lot of animosity. I get it. I get that. I get Angel Reese and animosity with her, right? They went head to head. They had some good battles, but this girl, like we said, who I didn't even know who she was, and here you're picking a fight with someone that like. Again, I get the hard fouls. I get the not in my world, young buck. Like it's my turn to shine. Your turn's coming up, right? Like, but this isn't about that. It's about some random person just doing stupid things to a player that is bringing you publicity, right? And and now she's come out and said like this isn't the only thing I want to be remembered by. Well, you should have thought about that before you did it. Number one. And number two, you want to be remembered by getting. I didn't know those other facts about it you brought up. You want to be remembered by getting kicked off your own team twice. I mean, when you said she was drafted in 2020 by Atlanta, I'm thinking 4 years in, she's a fourth pick. You should still be on the team, right? Like apparently you're not good enough to even stay on your own team. But now that you mentioned it, now we know why.
Yeah, and just for our viewers out there, I don't fall a lot on Thursday night, so just so
No,
Mike's not picking me up that much.
It's usually on my foot that he's tripping on or that I step on it so he can't jump. So yes, it is usually my fault. That being said, I'm usually like got a bloody nose or a black eye from Andrew's elbow every Thursday night. Every Thursday night, unintentional.
Never fails.
Let me put it out there, unintentionally. But it just always seems to find my nose or face or cheek or mouth.
So I stay away. Okay, one or two swipes, and I'm gonna move. It's fine. It's fine. Just take the layup. I'll come back and shoot a three. Speaking of the WNBA and how rough it's been, the hockey Stanley Cup has rolled around the corner. The Edmonton Oilers are going to be going up against the Florida Sabres. This is
Panthers.
Dang it! That's how much hockey I don't know, man.
I have a couple tidbits of information on
Yeah, go ahead.
So Florida Panthers, first round took out the Tampa Bay Lightning in 5 games. Moved on next to the Boston Bruins, took them out in 6, and then just defeated the New York Rangers in 6. So Florida Panthers have a huge center, Sam Reinhart, 27 power play goals on 233 shots. This guy's a killer. He's a monster. He's got 94 points for the season. And then second led on the team, Matthew Tkachuk. So he leads the team in assists, power play assists with 26. The team is stacked. They're the number 1 team in the league, in my opinion. For team stats, they score about 3.23 goals a game when they allow 2.42. The power play percentage is 23.5%, and the penalty kills is 82.5. So pretty much a league leader there. And then when we look at the Edmonton Oilers, they kill me because go ahead, Mike. Sorry.
Real quick on that Florida note, they did go to the Stanley Cup Finals last year, and they lost. So it's good to see that. I mean, they're a good team. They were there last year, even though they couldn't get the done versus Dallas. They do, coming back and repeating is that extra chip on the shoulder. So just want to throw that in real quick about Florida.
Yeah, and they're monsters. Like I said, they're number one. I have Dallas at number two from a what would we call it, like a power ranking standpoint.
Power ranking.
Yeah. So if we move on to Edmonton takes my heart every year because I'm a huge LA Kings fan, and Edmonton took out the Kings in 5. But the problem is Edmonton has taken the Kings out. This is the 3rd consecutive year in the row. So
Yeah.
I'm very upset about that. But the Oilers, led by team captain Connor McDavid, next took on the Vancouver Canucks. Felt like this was a really hard fought series. They came down to the wire and finished it in 7. And then lastly, the Oilers defeated the Dallas Stars. That's again number 2 in the power rankings for me. It's not an easy series, but the Oilers were able to come out on top. I would say between this Stanley Cup Finals, it looks like Florida Panthers are favored in the series. But I mean, the way both teams are playing, I feel like it's neck and neck. If I had to have a choice, I'm going to go with Edmonton in 7, but I think it goes all 7 games because both teams are just that good.
Fun note about the Panthers. Yes, you are correct. They did make the Stanley Cup Finals last year. Last year, when they won their conference series, they touched the Stanley Cup and ended up losing. This year, after winning their series, nobody touched the cup in fear of losing again this year. So if you watch their celebration after winning the Eastern Conference, you'll see them all get close and they'll like kind of stay away, like don't nobody touch it. Don't touch it this year. Don't touch it this year.
Lots of superstition in hockey.
Oh, definitely. I think that goes through all sports.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. So there's so many superstitions in sports. I've seen some really weird ones, man. I'm like, okay, what? We were 7-0, but we haven't worn these jerseys for the last like 20 years, and we're still gonna wear these jerseys. Like, what? Do they even fit? I'm like, they make them different now. Speaking of football,
real quick, Connor McDavid. Let me go on real quick because Connor McDavid is literally one of the best stars in hockey.
He is the man.
And he's good. He's fun to watch. He's aggressive. He's excellent. So the only thing missing from his resume is this Stanley Cup, right? Yep. At the end of the day, let's call it what it is. That being said, I am going to go opposite John, and I'm going to go Florida. I hope Florida gets their first Stanley Cup in their franchise history. They've yet to win it. I know it's been a lot of years since Edmonton won, since a Canadian team won, for that matter. But I think Florida's determined. As you alluded to, Mike, if they didn't touch the trophy, like they weren't celebrating winning, getting out of their conference. So I'm gonna go Florida. I'm gonna go Florida in 6. But it should be a good series. The best team versus the best player is the way I kind of look at it. I'm actually excited for it. I'm gonna watch it. So,
Edmonton hasn't won since 1990, I believe.
Correct.
Ooh.
Yeah, 90, and then they won a lot during the 80s, right?
Long droughts, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I don't watch hockey. I find it hard to follow on TV.
I like back in the old days when they had that little blue light on the puck.
Oh, yeah.
I can
you can see where it is.
I can see where it's at.
These existed. Yeah, I'm like, man, I don't know why people watch this thing. I can't even watch it. But it in real life, it's fun, man. It's
Oh, definitely.
If you go to a hockey game in real life, I've been to some of these Ontario Reign games, Ducks, Kings, and it's a whole different situation. It's fun. Yeah. It's cold. It's nice. It's it's a cool experience. So it's totally different than on TV. But I hear you.
Bro said hockey fights are the best.
You're not wrong.
That is WNBA fights may be better at this point. So.
Oh my goodness.
Well, hockey fights though. I mean, as long as you stay up, they'll let you keep going. Like, that, and I never understood that until I found that out. I'm like, why are they just standing there holding each other? Like, just go at it. And they're like, oh no. Once they go to the ground, the refs will break it up. So they try to keep each other up. Oh, heck yeah.
And I'll tell you what, like hockey players are some of like the strongest guys ever because you got guys who will throw their gloves punching the helmet and they don't care. And
Yeah.
and that goes all the way to punching the goalie. Like I know you're not supposed to, but man, the people will punch that helmet and not think twice about it. These guys are crazy, but I love it. Love hockey.
It's amazing. The Chicago Bears got tagged to be on the next season of Hard Knocks. That ought to be fun for all you zesty Caleb Williams fans. That'll be great. Speaking of Chicago, Tyreek Cohen, you remember him?
Mhm.
Way back when? He just signed. Let me pull up this stat. He just signed with the Jets after suffering an ACL injury back in 2020. He hasn't played since then, and he's
Wow.
coming back. Drew,
What's up,
welcome,
guys?
welcome.
What's up, man?
Glad you could join us, my friend. Glad you can join us. Let me.
Glad you could join us for football, Drew. That makes me happy.
I had to join specifically for the NFL talk, man. I could not miss out on this.
This is great. The first episode of Hard Knocks will be on
You
August
driving,
6th.
Drew?
Yeah, I'm parked. I'm not driving. I
Okay.
was driving. That's why
Okay.
I couldn't join.
No, I thought I saw the camera move. That's why I was like, Drew, we could do audio only if it's okay, but as long as you're not driving, I'm okay.
Too funny. Speaking of other signings, the Bills are signing Gable Stevenson. For those of you who don't know, this dude is a Olympic gold medalist in wrestling. He is also one of the most dominant college wrestlers in NCAA history. He is 6'1", 275, and word has it that he's going to be playing D-line.
There you go.
So Aaron Donald-esque, maybe, hoping, potential. Who knows? Who knows? Aaron Donald's a beast to compare him to, but that'll be fun to watch. Speaking of signings, AJ Brown. So this has been the year of let's pay receivers. Apparently, AJ Brown got an extension for 3 years, $96 million. Then you had Amon-Ra St. Brown from Detroit, who signed a 4-year, $120 million extension. Devontae Smith signed a 3-year, $75 million extension. The Browns paid Jared Jeudy on a 3-year, $52 million extension. The Colts paid Michael Pittman on a 3-year, $70 million extension. Mike Evans got paid another 2-year, $52 million extension. And then coming to this last week, where Nico Collins signed a 3-year, $72 million extension. Jaden Waddle. Drew, this is for you, my guy. 3-year, $84.75 million extension. I'm pretty sure 76 of that is guaranteed, dude. That's a lot of guaranteed money.
Yeah, 76.
Juwan Jennings signed a 2-year, $15.4 million extension.
Man, why are the 49ers so cheap? Just kidding.
And the bank buster right here, Justin Jefferson. Vikings are paying him for 4 years, $140 million. That's insane. I mean,
think
just the
like-
amount of money.
I think 90 something millions guaranteed on that too, which is
That one's 110.
110 million guaranteed.
Ridiculous.
Oh my god.
Absolutely ridiculous. I hope the money's worth it, especially if you're playing the Jets. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but this is Sauce Gardner. He's one of the cornerbacks for the Jets. He has gone 68 straight targets without allowing a touchdown. That's impressive.
Yep.
Revis Island? Anyone? No?
Yeah.
Maybe. Who knows? Let's see. Okay. Here's the biggest question for you guys. Who will win their first Super Bowl? Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, or Josh Allen? John, I want you to go first.
Man, I would say if it's a whole team that we're looking at, I'd probably say Lamar Jackson. I hate saying it because the Ravens are I think the most well put together team if we're looking at all four of these. I struggle because I'm trying to figure out if it would be Joe Burrow or Lamar, but Joe Burrow's got to stay healthy. Lamar, I think, has the best put together team.
Mike?
So unless 3 of those guys get out of the AFC or Mahomes somehow does, I don't know how they win.
So you going Hurts?
I can't take Hurts either though. But I mean, when you compare the past of NFC favorites versus AFC favorites, I mean, you got 3 in the NFC and you got a lot more in the AFC. So, jeez. That's tough. I
It
can't
is a
take
tough
Lamar
question.
Jackson because I don't believe Lamar Jackson's good enough to win it. Yes, John's right. He does have the best team. So it's hard not to take him. Put it this way: you put Burrow on Baltimore, and I think they win it all.
Yeah.
Heck, even Josh Allen, you put him on Baltimore, I think they could win it all. Buffalo's window, I think, might be closing. They did just draft a bunch of receivers, so it's hard to say that. Shoot, I think I'll go with. I'm gonna make your guy happy and say.
Let me go first. Just kidding.
Joe Burrow. I'm gonna go Joe Burrow.
No.
The prime Anakin Skywalker. Let's go.
I don't know that
Mike's
he'll
taking
do it
my
with
guy.
the Bengals. I don't think he'll do it with the Bengals, but if I had to pick one from that list, I think Joe Burrow would be that one.
Just
Not with the
remember,
Bengals, though.
just remember right before Andrew goes. Just remember, the Ravens did win a Super Bowl with Trent Dilfer as quarterback.
Yeah.
I just want to throw that out there.
That is true.
Go
Drew?
ahead, Drew.
So Jalen Hurts, and there's no way in my mind. When's the last time he won a game? I can't even remember, man. That was like that was terrible. I couldn't believe how bad he ended last season. But so no, I have no trust in him at all right now. Lamar Jackson, I don't see it, but I mean he does have an amazing team, but I'm definitely going Joe Burrow. Literally the only thing Joe Burrow needs is to stay healthy. That's it. And I'm not taking Mike's pick. He's took mine, so. And then Allen, I think he needs to mature a little more as a quarterback still. Like I think if he doesn't make some kind of jump, I don't think he can win it all. Like he's like seems like he's like a risk taker, gunslinger sometimes, and I don't know what he needs to do, but I think he needs to make another small jump to win it all, or just have the best freaking team in the NFL. It doesn't matter how bad you are, like that will just carry him. But
I'm gonna pick Lamar, and I'm only gonna pick Lamar if the OC can actually figure it out and run during the playoffs. Like, stop putting it on Lamar. He is not that guy. Clearly, like you're putting him in situations, taking him out of his own game. Stick to your core. Stick to running the football. With all the quarterbacks that got drafted this year, a lot of teams are looking to make the playoffs. I'd heard word that the Broncos are also hoping with drafting Bo Nix will get them a playoff win. But fun fact for all you Broncos fans, the last quarterback or the only quarterback that the Broncos have drafted to win a playoff game was Tim Tebow. Stick on that. All right. Next question for you guys. Which NFL team would drive you nuts if they won a Super Bowl? Drew, I'm gonna let you go first. Or do you need more time?
Give me a second.
Okay. John? Anybody
Cowboys. I cannot stand the Cowboys. And it's not because they have 5 wins. It's just because there's a bunch of Cowboy fans out there that believe in Dak Prescott. And now that did they resign? They resigned. Here we go. They re-signed Zeke, right? They re-signed Zeke, so now
Yep.
Cowboy fans
Yeah, but you
think
heard
that Zeke's the answer coming back after they let him go or they let him walk. Then he's coming back, and they think he's the answer. That's ridiculous.
you heard CeeDee Lamb's a no-show though, right?
Yeah, they gotta pay him.
Ooh.
He wants to get paid.
Well, especially when you see Justin Jefferson picking up 140 large mil.
Right.
I mean, that's
Right.
you know.
And it scares me because we got to re-sign Ayuk, and we got to figure that out because I don't know if we can do it. Having to pay who we got to pay next year, I'm not sure. But the
Yeah.
answer is the Cowboys. Sorry.
Mike, who would drive you nuts?
I'm gonna go Baltimore because I don't think it would be Lamar Jackson who leads this team. And I mean, put it this way, like if we're talking Hall of Fame, Drew, you had the chance, man. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know if you're.
I just don't understand why you hate Lamar Jackson so much, man. Like,
I hate Lamar Jackson, man. I don't think he's good because you're talking about one of like the best NFL QBs. Like he's not that guy. Like he's not. I'm sorry. He's okay. It may be because of the way he's changed the game too, right? Like I'm not Steph Curry. I'm not a big fan of Steph Curry. I don't like him. I don't like the way he changed the game in the NBA, and that's kind of what Lamar Jackson's done in the NFL, where you have pocket passers, QBs that are effective, right? He wins a Super Bowl, and now it's all about the running QB. It's all about the athletic guy who can move outside the pocket, who you can have a good game with him running 50, 60 yards, 100 yards. So that's probably why I don't like him, to be honest with you. But I don't think he's that good. I don't think he's worth the money. That's my whole thing with it. But that's just me. But they have a great system. I mean, put it this way: you put him on any other team in the NFL, and they aren't this good. That's my whole argument with it. Whereas if you put Mahomes on any other team, he's that good. Yeah, and I hated Wilson too.
All right. Well,
that's what I hated Wilson for.
But not only did Mike say he doesn't like Lamar Jackson, he just said he doesn't like Steph Curry. What the heck?
I do not like Steph Curry.
this just in.
Everybody likes Steph Curry, man.
Wait.
Come on.
Breaking news.
Tesla Mace does not like change.
He does not like change. That's funny. No, but I have a hard time. I don't have a lot of hate for NFL teams. So
I'm not saying hate. I'm just saying who would drive, like what team would drive you nuts. Like there's some teams that I don't mind the team, but I cannot stand their fan base. Like they're like either super
Raiders,
obnoxious. Oh my. Okay, hold on. Where's the mute button?
Thank you.
Nope, muted. All right.
Mike's gonna get us all killed, man. Don't talk crap on
I didn't killed. I just couldn't fathom them even winning, so that was a different.
Oh my goodness, you're funny.
It's too much. You're too much.
You mentioned fan base.
Yeah, like okay. Here's the thing about the Raiders. Raiders is probably one of the only teams that ESPN, like newscasters, everybody will talk about if they win and if they lose. You're still talking about them, like so. Whatever, like either way, I don't care.
Many
I'm
teams
still a fan.
don't have to move out of their own city they've been in for so many years. I mean, what are they? Chargers 2.0, the Rams. I mean, am I getting muted again?
No, not at all. Honestly, I know I'm still gonna get a lot of flack for this. Did you pick, Drew? Did you say who you?
I'm gonna go. Hold on. Let me think this through. You go. I'll go after you.
Okay. Well, really I think Bro and I kind of we're the same on this one. I definitely gotta go Seattle. I can't. I've spent too many games at, too many Seahawks games where in the same breath, Matt Hasselbeck's a quarterback. He ends up throwing an incompletion that was not far off. And everybody around us stood up. Oh, you suck. Get him out of here. Trade him. He's overrated. Blah, 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 blah. And then the next play throws a touchdown. That's my boy. That's what I'm talking about. Woo, woo, woo. And I'm like, such fair weather fans, man. I'm like, half of the guys are, oh no, Seahawks. I'm like, name one Seahawk before the Legion of Doom. One. I don't even care who. Name one. They can't do it. Okay. Like, and I get it. There are some fans that have been loyal to Seattle for a long time. I don't mind that. I'm like, I'm not that bandwagon guy. I'm a Raider fan, for crying out loud. I'm not jumping on any bandwagon. I've been a Raider fan.
It's funny. It's funny you say that because my wife a few weeks ago we were talking and I don't know, we were playing a game or something and she was trying to get me to guess the Seattle or the Seahawks and she's like, "It's the team you hate most in the NFL," and I'm like, "Oh, Dallas." She's like, "No, the one you hate, the Niners hate, Green Bay." I'm guessing Green Bay. She's like, "No, the one you hate," and I'm like, "Who?" Like
Philly.
all I really hate is Dallas and Green Bay. Maybe Pittsburgh. Maybe Pittsburgh's like, no, like your division rival. And I'm like, the Rams? She's like, no. And I'm like, she's like, Seattle, don't you hate Seattle? And I'm like, yeah, for about like 10, 15 years. But like prior to that, like my whole life growing up, like I didn't even know Seattle was in my division. Like, I mean, it's only with that Richard Sherman days and the Legion of Boom when I really hated Seattle because they were in our division. But I mean, the reality is like, they're not on my like top 2 list. I'll tell you that. I don't know about you, John. Are you the same as a Niner fan?
Yeah, exactly the same. Exactly the same. Like Cowboys are top of my list. Packers would be 2, and Seattle would be. I mean, maybe Seattle crack top 5.
Right, but not top 2 for sure, right?
No.
And so I had to explain to her. I'm like, babe, they haven't been good like my entire existence. Like they just became good with Russell Wilson, and I mean that's really when they became good and a rival, so to speak. Right.
Yeah. Right. All right, Drew. Last chance. Who would drive you nuts?
I'm trying to give you a couple more minutes, Drew.
All right. I'm gonna go Bears.
The Bears.
I don't have hate.
You're the most hated man in America right now.
I don't.
Everybody loves the Bears.
I like the SNL sketch for sure, and I have no hate against the Bears in general, but something about Caleb Williams bothers me, man. I don't know. I know he's #1 pick. Everyone likes him, but I'm kind of like, I'm not convinced he's even going to be good in the NFL yet.
What did he say?
And I just think he's not going to be good. I think he'll be all right.
Fair enough. I mean, you're entitled.
The guys are all like, I'm just telling you now. We'll see what happens. He can change my mind. Let's see what happens, But right now, that's going to be my pick.
So this kind of came across my feed. Not somebody had posted, I'm getting divorced. Any suggestions where I might get the most for my wedding ring? And the response was, or top response was, the Dallas Cowboys might pay good money for it. They haven't had a ring in a while.
That's funny.
Oh.
And I had to screenshot it because that was just too good. I don't know anybody on the post or whatever. It had just come across my screen, and I had to get that done. Anything big coming out of your guys' mini camps? You got any hype at all?
Nothing coming out of the mini camps, but today, kind of a sad day. Larry Allen passed away. So
he died young.
Yeah, I think that's just what gets me. And yes, he was a Cowboy, so I want to make sure we say that first and foremost. But he did end his career with the Niners for a couple of years. But man, tough to see, or times rather to hear somebody so great pass away so young. I think, man.
I know. I agree. I believe he was only 52 when he passed.
Yeah.
Awesome
player. Yeah, awesome player. Just the best, one of the best linemen just that I've ever watched. Like able to see in real life. Hey, there he is. Look at him.
Hi, Daddy.
Hey, Dax.
The man himself. Dax, the man with the plan. What's going on, Daxy?
I'm doing the podcast.
Yeah, you let him know.
All right,
love it.
He wanted to show you. He wanted to say hi.
Love you, bud.
Love you.
No.
That's a great father-son moment right there. Absolutely amazing. In some odd news, Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fights postponed due to Tyson's ulcer flare-up. That'll keep
Yeah.
him from
Interesting.
fully training for the next
I think Jake Paul's
couple
waiting until
weeks.
he's 60.
I know, right? Like, oh wait, hold on. I need you to slow down for a minute. Like,
And
you can't train that hard.
mysteriously, this happened while Mike Tyson was drinking a prime drink, right?
That is too funny.
Mike Tyson was gonna knock him out, so I'm a little disappointed about that news. Actually,
I know. I want to see that.
There's supposedly there's possibly a new date coming out on Friday.
okay.
I don't know what they're looking at time frame wise. I think they're trying to give Mike at least a couple weeks before the actual fight to train. But this ulcer flare up, I think, is supposed to take like 2 or 3 weeks. I've never had any experience in any of that, so but I'm still looking forward to the fight regardless. Kind of weirded out by Mike's condition though.
I'm looking forward to the McGregor fight.
Who is he fighting?
He's coming back in the Conor McGregor. He's coming back in the ring.
I'm kidding.
You don't
Boxing
know,
or
like,
MMA? Is he going to Octagon or is he coming back to boxing?
No, he's fighting Poirier, I believe, in July.
Didn't Poirier just lose like last night or the night before?
Let me double check who he's fighting. McGregor.
I swear he just got tapped like 2 days ago or last night. Is it Poirier?
Oh, Chandler. I'm sorry, Michael Chandler.
Yeah,
oh, gotcha.
Yeah, Poirier just fight. He won yesterday, I think, on Saturday. But yeah, Michael Chandler. That should be good. I think it's July, if I'm not mistaken. He's just a funny dude, man. I just love the guy. I'm excited. Like, he's got me as a fan. He made me like UFC. Like he's an idiot. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, he made me get into it, and that's exactly what UFC needed. To be honest with you,
there's so many good trash talkers that and some of them were in MMA. Like some of the trash talkers, I feel like are forced. When you have to come out with like your mama jokes, like that's.
So he did go too far with a lot of it, right? Like he did go way too far. I guess I should preface that by saying he made me enjoy the sport. He made me want to get into it. But he did go overboard. I mean, the guy's a nut job at the end of the day. Like throwing a chair into the window of a bus. Like, I mean, that was just like dude's on something, that's for sure. Like whoever's drug testing these guys is like got to be on Conor McGregor's payroll, right? Like, I mean, like, let's just call it what it is.
That is too funny.
June 29th is that fight in Vegas.
June when?
29th.
29th.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking forward to
that. See, this is why this right here. This is why I can't open up ESPN, because every time I open it up, I get something. You can't even see it on the screen. Shoot, I have my thing blurred out. I have something about either Angel Reese. Oh well, people watch the WNBA for me too. I'm like, that. You just sound jealous at that point. Like, why does it matter? Nobody cares. They would watch you if you would dominate. Honestly, like,
play better.
That's
all right.
Pretty much. But come on, man. I don't understand the jealousy in the games. I mean, I guess you want to ride coach instead of a chartered plane. I don't know. Do you not want your games on TV?
Yeah, I know. Because with more sponsorships comes, the ability to make more money. So you would hope that all this hype and everything that's coming around is all good for everybody.
Well, yeah. Well, it's like so Caitlin Clark signs a shoe deal, and then helps pave the way for others to sign shoe deals.
Yeah.
Like I don't get it.
Let me
I mean, whatever.
here's something though. Like as much as this is said, like okay, I'm gonna ask you guys a question. I'm gonna put you on a spot that I don't think
Yeah.
you know the answer to. But can you guys name, without looking on your computer, one of the top 5 point leaders in the WNBA this season?
Is it Onyescu? Stewart?
No. John,
Not
you
even
got
in the top
anyone?
5?
Not even
No.
top 5. Not even points per game. Not even top 5.
I was gonna say Hannity, but I don't think that's the right way to say her name.
Okay, so number 1 is Ogubawale, right?
Okay.
Number 2, Asia Wilson. Number 3,
Okay.
Kenya Cooper, Nafisa Collier, and Derica Hamby. So those are your top 4. So
Hanby.
I meant Hamby.
I see Asia Wilson. She just signed her
I know Asia,
shoe
yeah.
deal. Yeah.
Yeah, you got Young, Lloyd, Bonner, Ogumike, Plum, and then Brianna Stewart, number 11. And then Diana Taurasi still at number 12. That's something. But anyway, so Iniscu's number 13. I guess my point in other people's frustration may be the fact that it is all about Caitlin Clark and not about the product, right? So to an extent, we all here, I mean, all we're talking about is a 2-7 team or a 2-8 team. I don't even know what they are now, right? Like that's all we're talking about. Now, again, I know in the future that will bring eyeballs, right? That will flip, and that will more people will be known because of it. But I guess I could understand a little bit about the frustration of these other players, right? Again, I'm not saying that anything that's going on is called for. I just it's constantly talking about a bottom-feeded team and not the rest of the product that the WNBA is putting out. So
I think
I get frustrated. I would I think I would.
I get the frustration. Like nobody necessarily wants to talk about 2-17 or 2-7 team. But if you're a top pick, you're going to a 2-7 team, right? Aren't you? I mean,
True,
like that in the NFL.
But my point is, when LeBron went to the NBA, there were more conversations than just LeBron, right? When Peyton Manning went to the NFL, right, there were more conversations than just Peyton Manning. It's tough because we really haven't seen a sport as young as the WNBA in our lifetimes, I don't think. And so it's really hard for me to relate to, listen, you got to go through the learning curve or the curve of not having that player. I mean, Diana Taurasi was that player for a while, right? Like we all knew who Diana Taurasi was. She went against my alma mater when I was there, by the way. Yeah, she was really good. But my point is, like, I could understand a little bit of the player's frustration that the talks about the player and not the game, and that would get annoying. Now, Angel Reese, I ain't watching the NBA because of her, right? And I'll be honest, I want to see Caitlin Clark. Like I don't care about seeing any of these other players yet, right? Like the game. I saw a clip the other day that says showed an Instagram reel of Caitlin Clark, says, imagine how many assists this girl would have if her teammates made layups. And it literally was one game, threw a out of bounds pass right under the basket, girl missed a left-handed layup. And then threw another out of bounds pass, and she went with the reverse layup and missed it. And it's like, until the product as a whole becomes much better, it's going to be very difficult to talk about the product as a whole, in my opinion, right? Until the game's elevated league wide, it is going to be tough to talk about it. And that's the problem. It's not Caitlin Clark's problem. That's the problem. So yes, Caitlin Clark's bringing eyeballs. She's elevating the game. It's now up to these other players to be able to elevate and advance up with her. That's my thoughts on it.
I think this year's draft, in general, is more exciting because I'll tell you what, from before, I mean, I was partial to a couple of the Vegas Aces players, but other than that, I really didn't know too many players. I'm learning the players now, right? I'm learning people's names and who they play for, and I'm watching a little bit more now. But I think before this draft, it wasn't really exciting to me. So I think you're right. I think um, she's doing a lot to elevate the game, but I also think that there's a few exciting players that are coming into the league that could be exciting and make other teams relevant as well. Which I think before, I mean, I guess if you have a team that's first place, but there's three or four average players, that's not really as exciting as one really good player who the team that she's on will eventually be really good, right? I don't know. You can tell me if I'm wrong.
No,
But
you're right.
this draft, I think was exciting. I think she helped make people watch it. But then because of that, I've learned about other players who I can also see the distinct difference in what they bring to the table, and now that's exciting for me too. So I think
Me
she's
too.
she's done well, but I think these other players need to see that for what it is and say, hey, how can I build like she's building, right? How can I make it better on, you know, through my input on the game.
You do make a great point, though, Mike. The the league itself is just young. Right? They haven't gone through all of the struggles. The bar wasn't very high, and now it's been raised. I'm like, okay, well, now you're going to get more eyeballs on the sport, solely because there were a ton of eyeballs watching it in college, and they tend to just move with the players that that they were watching. Um, Hopefully, they can just figure it out, right? Whether it inspires other girls to take those steps and continue to train and go that route. I mean, I would love to see um, that sport just expand, that league just expand, whether it be better coaching, better work. I mean, the athletes are there. I mean, no, they're probably not completely dunking like, you know, Brittany Griner or whatever, but that doesn't mean you can't play good basketball. I mean, we see it on Thursday nights, right? Like none of us are
I
complete
mean,
athletes, like, like the epitome of physical
Greatness.
right? But you can still play good basketball. You can still run good plays, whether the shot's made or not. Like you can still create opportunities for each other to, but that comes down from coaching that and creating opportunities for your guys to make even easier shots. Okay, I get it. Like I've thrown that assist, right? Or that assist to the guy who's wide open underneath the basket and he's missed the layup. And it is frustrating.
You know what we're all thinking.
Right? Which I mean, but I had to grow to accept the fact that look, not everybody's going to make the layup, but I still got to make the pass. Right? I got to show the trust in that player. Like, look, I know you missed the last two layups, whatever. You're still wide open. You still have the higher percentage even though I'm getting double teamed and probably the outcome will be the absolute same. But
So wait, you're saying LeBron makes the right play? Is that what I heard you say?
okay, the right play isn't always the best play for your team, right? Like in crunch time, if I'm the guy who is supposed to like, okay, this is I'm a physical freak. I should be able to take it through two people like you've shown year in and year out, and you still what are you doing? You just come on. And on the other side of that spectrum, I was also that guy going, Kobe, what are you doing? You got like three guys on you. Pass the ball.
It all just matters if the ball goes in. I mean, that's where the outcome
Right.
changes, right? Like the ball doesn't go in on a pass, it's the wrong play. If the ball goes in, it was the best play in the world, right?
If
Kobe's triple teamed. He should have passed it. Ball goes in the net. Great shot, Kobe. Good call.
0.4 seconds on the clock. Lakers versus Spurs. Ball was supposed to go to Kobe. Doesn't go to Kobe. Goes to
Robert
Fisher.
Horry.
No, it goes to Fisher. Throws it up and like it was catch and lob.
What's the one that
Game
Robert
winner.
Horry hit? Was that a rebound?
Yeah, that
Robert
was the
Horry
rebound
went?
that got tipped
Okay.
out.
Yeah.
That you just gotta be at the right time at the right at the right place at the right time. For those of you,
Hold on,
Hey.
guys. You're talking about the Lakers right now. You gotta bring me back.
Oh, here we go.
I was just about to sign out.
Hey, Mike, you're thinking of the Robert Horry shot 22 years ago.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy about that? Kobe took it. He barely missed it. Shaq had to put back. He was about to get that offensive board to put it back again, and then Vlade Divac smacked it out to the three-point line, and Horry just happened to be standing there. He's like, "Oh, I'll take this." Drain that three. Best play in basketball, man. Very happy day. And the funny thing about that
One of my worst days ever.
That 0.4 second that Fisher shot, my brother was in the airport when that happened. Like, he thought there was like a bomb in the airport or something. Like, people were all running out of the restaurants and screaming and running around the airport. It was insane.
It's just an insane shot. It's an insane shot to make. It's not the guy that you wanted to take the shot. He's just, okay, my 5 seconds are almost up. We got to toss it into somebody. We got no timeouts. He's open. You throw it in. He lobs it up. It goes in. Like, all right. Legend forever. For those that are still watching, please subscribe to us on YouTube at Jam Pack Podcasts. Make sure you click on that notification button to view us live. We are live every Monday night at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Jam Pack Podcast and on Twitter at Jam Pack Pod. We'll be coming out soon with jampack.com. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. You know, make sure you still root for your teams, even though we might make fun of them here on this show. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Don't take it personal. We just love to have fun. Make sure you are taking care of one another. Be safe out there, and we'll see you guys next week. Later, fellas.
Later, fellas.
Guys.